it! That's out of here!
Catch and fire. It's on the... He made it! Oh my...
It's been a beautiful day here in Huntington, Indiana, and now it is a great night for volleyball in Platt Arena. It's Preston Husband alongside Brady Gallo, the rest of the FDN Sports crew, and it's conference play. Man, it came quick, Brady, and these Foresters, they're in a good spot heading into the Crossroads League play at 9-1, their best start in school history.
They've been playing some fantastic volleyball as of late. They just came off a great tournament performance. They went 3-1 in the AMF Memorial Day tournament, beating Indiana Tech, who received votes in the NAIA poll. They're playing some fantastic volleyball right now.
Huntington's been led by a lot of their older player, Haley Cruz, a senior, having what looks to be a career season. Of course, several years ago as a freshman, over 300 kills. She's already over the century mark this year, and she's looked better than ever here in the first 10 matches so far.
And she's inching closer towards history. She's 21 kills away from 1,000 for her career. Her season high is 16 versus Pikeville this season, so maybe it won't happen tonight, but definitely this week. They have a match coming up against Bethel, so could see some history coming up this week for Haley Cruz.
On the other side, for the University of St. Francis Cougars, you see some of them getting prepared for their starting lineups here in just a few minutes. They've been on a skid, 6 straight losses in a row, but they have played a very tough schedule. 3 ranked teams, 2 losses to receiving vote teams. It's been a tough slide for Coach Haddix, but it will have him prepared for what is always a tough conference and starting the night against a Huntington team who's on a roll.
And I'm sure Coach Haddix had that in mind when planning out this schedule. St. Francis usually plays in those same tournaments to start the year. They played in Palm Beach, they played in the Onset Invitational and the CMS Labor Day Classic, and they went toe-to-toe with some fantastic teams like you mentioned, and they actually ended up winning a set against a number 10 team in the nation against the College of Idaho. So they're playing some good ball. The record may not show it. They've been playing some fantastic competition, and they're ready to go here tonight.
We're going to send it to a short break for starting lineups and the national anthem, and when we come back, we'll have first serve between the Foresters and the Cougars on FDN Sports.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's Washroom is ready to serve you. As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's Washroom is ready to serve you.
Just about set for set number 1 here between the Huntington Foresters and the University of St. Francis Cougars. Of course, Brady, you know, throughout the baseball season, it's a pretty fierce rivalry between these two teams in most sports. That's no different here tonight in volleyball. The Cougars going one way, the Foresters heading the other. But as always, we expect these two teams to be competitive tonight, and it's a packed house because a lot of the students now firmly back here on campus. Classes are underway, and excellent weather today has kind of brought more people in here tonight.
Yeah, as you know, as we get into conference play, records, you can just throw them out the window. Both these teams headed in different directions in terms of their record, but getting into conference play, Crossroads League, it's always going to be neck and neck. It's always going to be teams at each other's throats. And like you mentioned, in every single sport, the Foresters and the Cougars just don't seem to like each other. There's always going to be some back and forth, some chippiness, but that's what you love about the Crossroads League.
We are just about set, a few minutes away from first serve. The Foresters playing such good volleyball. Talked about their 3-1 record at Taylor in the tournament over the weekend. Haley Cruz and Layla Meyer both on the all-conference or the all-tournament team there at Taylor, and the best start in program history. They're 6-0, 7-0, and then they fell against a Campbellsville team in a match really they probably think they would love to have back. They would have loved to win that one. They easily could have been up 2-1, 3-1. Yeah, it won the match 3-1 and kind of gave that one away. So you grow with tough losses, and it's pushed them to this 9-1 start, looking for win number 10, and they are perfect here at home, Brady, 6-0.
Unscathed here at home to start the season. But Coach Herbert did touch on how she discussed with her team handling that first loss. When you get out to a hot start like that, handling that first loss is so important. You don't want to get too down on yourself, but you also don't want to get too high with all those wins on the board. So I expect this group to come out here still with a fire, still with some intent to win, and I'm excited to see them play.
We've seen a lot of the older players for the Foresters step up, but a freshman that sticks out recently, Maggie Holland, in her first year from Warsaw. She's having a huge freshman year. She was a great addition, but maybe the biggest addition to this team came back over the weekend. That's Lauren Ross, the junior setter, who is an all-conference type setter. She doesn't only set up her teammates, she's on the prowl. She's on the attack and added already a handful of kills in that tournament up at Upland, and one of the best setters in the league coming back and now really finding her feet.
With an already talented roster, just adding more talent and more skill and more experience is going to be so valuable. But you touched on Maggie Holland. I want to highlight just how big of a tournament she had. On day 2, she led both matches in kills with 16 in the first match and 13 in the second. She has stepped up big time as a freshman, walked on campus, and immediately made an impact.
I kind of thought she should have been on the all-tournament team as well with those performances. But I'm sure as we get further and further into her career, she'll have plenty of opportunities to hop on some all-conference teams. It's still Freshman of the Year up in the air as we just get started here early. And we are just about set and ready to go. It will be St. Francis in the familiar dark blue jerseys with the black shorts. Huntington in their white jerseys with the forest theme at the lower part under the numbers. Black shorts, a lot of white shoes out there, and a packed house here in Platt Arena as we are set and ready to go. Conference play already here, September 3rd, 2025. An amazing night for volleyball, and these two teams set and ready to take on one another. It'll be Tegan Fortcamp, the sophomore setter, who is extremely talented coming off of a great freshman year, as we just about are set and ready to go. I think that They're wanting one of our camera people to maybe move a little bit, but for now, we're going to roll with it. Fort Camp, first serve of the night. A jump serve and a good one to the back row. Foresters will work right away to Maggie Holland, and right on cue, she gets us going.
Love her getting involved early. We just touched on it. She's coming off a monster tournament performance, as she's going to check out right here, but great to see her get on the board in the first set.
She has had a phenomenal freshman season from Warsaw, Indiana, hitting .250 on the year, now 84 kills. And a free chance. Carter swung and missed. Huntington will get another chance with Cruz, but it's into the net. 4 touches on the Foresters, so either way, ties us up at 1.
The free chances, those are the ones that you're going to have to convert, especially here early. We saw in a couple of the home matches we were on the call for, Preston, just being able to take advantage of those free opportunities and those errors really contributed to Huntington being able to get out to big leads.
So 1-1 here just at the start of the first set. Right side Mason Robrock goes too long. That puts the Cougars in front 2-1. Mason having another good year as well. You look up and down at this Forester roster. It's littered with players with over 50 kills already this season. There's weapons that come from everywhere. Ross sets up Cruz this time from the 10-foot line, and it finds the back line.
So Cruz picking up one right there. Obviously the Foresters' go-to outside hitter. She is ultra efficient, ultra dangerous when she gets the ball in motion.
Now to be Layla Meyer coming off Crossroads League Defensive Player of the Week honor. She's now 5th all-time in Forester history in digs. She is so good keeping plays alive. The Foresters with a block there. St. Francis again to the left side. Tip it over, and a little bit of a knuckleball falls in for Gumbel.
Definitely weren't expecting that right there, but I will say the Forester defense has been playing solid as of late. Coach Herbert touched on it after the tournament last week, how proud she was of this defensive group, how proud she was of Myers, of her blockers. So expect to see some good defense here tonight.
Coach Haddix has a young team. This is one of the lone seniors here, Emily Hughes. Ross right at the net to Terry. Hits a soft one, but Huntington gets another free chance. And it looks like it's a point, as I think it went around the antenna and out, so now it's 3-3. Couldn't quite tell from our angle, but
don't have a great angle for that one. Don't have a great seat for that.
No, we don't. Kennedy Urban now into serve. What a great job she did while Lauren Ross was out. Now her and Ross are kind of running as 2 setters. Ross will get the majority of the run as she comes back as the main starter. And she's done a good job. We're also working on the scoreboard right now. We'll get that graphic back up in just a moment. It's just 3-3, start of the first set. Now 4-3 Foresters.
I'm glad you mentioned something about Kennedy Urban, because she has been so great this season. And with Ross coming back, it's good to see them split time. I was interested to see how Coach Herbert was going to handle that. So I'm glad to see her still getting some PT.
If Urban is your second setter and nearly 5.5 assists per set, that's a pretty good 2 setters with Ross and Urban. Four now. St. Francis back with the serve. Urban goes to work out to Boyer, who goes to the back row. Kept alive and now pushed over for another free chance. Meyer's going to set up Boyer this time. Impact transfer, impacts the game right away.
Just put it exactly where she wanted it. Maybe a bit too high on that first swing attempt, but put it right where it needed to be, and that's going to be hard to stop right there.
That last kill by St. Francis, by the way, Annabelle Swigert. She was not listed on their website, so we're going to roll with it. And I also got the SID from St. Francis sent us a roster. She was not on there. So if we're saying that incorrectly, let us know in the comments. Huntington can't go in transition, and there she is again, 2 for 2 in her opportunities. We better figure out how to say her name, because she's quite powerful right in the center.
Making an impact. We might be calling her name a lot tonight if she keeps up this pace.
5-5, locked in a good one here in the first set. We'll see Kellen Birch for the first time from Bluffton, Indiana, sending a serve over. Firm one to the hands of Layla Meyer. Hollins got one kill tonight, tried going off the blocks. St. Francis back to the left, and that one is just out as it clipped the antenna. That was a good swing on the left side by Kendall Fry, who's one of their go-to players. Just got a piece of the antenna.
And good decision-making there by Urban to be able to make that decision with the powerful swing coming down by Fry in a split second. It's very impressive.
Ava Myers, another freshman for this Forester team, a great server. That's kind of been her role here in the early season as she picks up a dig there. Quick set, and looks like it was Urban into the net or over the line on the set.
I think she might have just got a bit of the net right there, or actually looked like she might have stepped over the line. It's unclear right there.
6-6 now. It's the libero Hannah Sweeney from Fort Wayne Bishop Luers grad, coming off a nice freshman campaign. Now as a sophomore, and it's the freshman for the Foresters getting busy again. Her second kill tonight.
Holland going up against one of the best diggers in the league. Hannah Sweeney is fit in the crossroads and digs with 172. So that just goes to show you how powerful Holland has been.
Lauren Ross coming back from that concussion now in her 5th match. Right side, and St. Francis with an attack here makes it 8-6 Foresters. There's been a few of those that are just off on the sets and the swings from St. Francis between their setters and hitters. And Fort Camp, she is coming off freshman honors last year, honorable mention as well. So just trying to time it up with some of her teammates. Free chance for HU, and there's Fort Camp on the defensive side, tipping her right back.
So we've seen already St. Francis only 4-8, but they're hanging in right here. They are hardened by tough competition, and they're not ready to come in here to Platte Arena and take 3 losses.
So Fort Camp coming away with that last block. All freshman team, honorable mention last year, 141 kills from the setter position. So just like Ross, very aggressive as Robrock gets in on the action, puts HU back ahead 9-7.
And there's Ross picking up right where she left off. Putting that one maybe a bit too far behind, but Robrock makes the adjustment, puts it down for the kill.
Olivia Cron now, Homestead graduate here in her senior campaign. Foresters tip it right back at St. Francis. Left side swing, a good one, and it's just in from Gumbel. And the Foresters will get benefited with the call there as the main official saw that one out. And that puts Huntington up 10-7. So sometimes they need a little help, the line judge.
Yeah.
It's such a quick play and fast action. HU moves ahead 10-7. While I get the chance, I want to give a shout out to my wife Carly and my baby girl Braylon Sue, who's sitting at home right now watching the game. My wife not feeling well. They're usually in attendance. I want to say hello to them and hope they're enjoying the volleyball match tonight as Haley Cruz gets a free ball and can't put it away. Great play by the Cougars. Robrock this time off the block. Left side just forced over. It turns into a free chance. Ross goes left side. Cruz, who's blocked, and right there to deny it is Gumbel.
That one came down with some force right there. Got down in a hurry. That's going to go down as a solo block.
Quite impressive for Gumbel there, rising up at 5'11". She's another Bishop Luers graduate. Grew up in Yoder, Indiana, but we see that out of St. Francis teams a lot. If you've got the opportunity to recruit within Fort Wayne, you take it. It's a big city with a lot of great athletes. Cruz, big swing, left side on the response. It was a left-handed swing there from Chupp. Her first of the night, goes back with the right, and she's denied.
So there's some of that defense we were talking about. The Foresters' play at the net has just been so much improved. Trevin Terra, Leah Carter making an impact at the net.
And Trevin Terry wasn't in on that last point, but she's coming off back-to-back matches with 5 blocks. So she's really been impacting the game defensively, and so is Layla Meyer, but Olivia Cron couldn't get over there. That was nearly another highlight reel play by Layla.
Meyer just wrong place, wrong time, laid out to keep that ball in the air, but Cron just got tripped up on her way to go retrieve it.
The service from Emily Hughes, her second time on the service line. 28 matches last year, just 36 kills. But talking about blocks, she can do that in a hurry as that one goes out. No touch from Robrock. Pulls St. Francis back within one.
Robrock usually pretty efficient with those, doesn't commit too many errors. She's getting plenty of opportunities tonight. She already has one kill.
Emily Hughes back to work from Rochester, Indiana. Ross close to the net, keeps it alive with the right hand. Terry can't put it away. Left side now, another Forrester block. They'll try the right side, and that one falls in, and Gumbel starting to get it going.
St. Francis getting production from all over. Swigert, Gumbel, getting some multiple players going here early.
11-11 here in set number one between Huntington University Foresters and the St. Francis Cougars. The first service error of the night belongs to the Cougars and puts Huntington back in front by one. Well, we've got the chance. Brady and I would love to say hello to anyone who's watching. If you would like, you can open up your YouTube app or on your computer, comment, tell us where you're watching from, and tell us who you're watching. We'd love to say hello and hear who you might be watching on FDN Sports this evening. Right side, Gumbel has a few kills here early. Urban picks it up easily. Cruz with a nice set from Meyer. Can't get that one to drop in. Left side, Chupp goes off the antenna. You know, Chupp, she's just a freshman from Warsaw, Indiana, so her and Maggie Holland, you can imagine, was a great duo at Warsaw. 9 matches, 24 sets, 63 kills, but has not played in the 3 previous matches before tonight. And Swigert again. I don't know why she wasn't on their roster, because she's looking like their best player.
I noticed that as well. She's been so good this season, but yeah, only says 9 matches played. Not sure if she was injured, something academically. We don't want to assume, obviously, but yeah, I mean, she's definitely a great player. They want to have her on the floor for every single game.
Unless I just missed it on their website, which is always possible. Right side, Haley Cruz, usually coming from the left, but gets it going to her strong side this time. Huntington back in front, 14-12.
Cruz back to serve. She is just oh so dangerous from back there. I would have no chance going up against her sinking serve with that top spin.
Cruz right there, and left side Chupp. That's more like the freshman's been swinging it this year. Had some heat behind that one.
Going up against one of the better defenders in the Crossroads, Myers, coming off one of the best weeks of her career. Chupp putting a little extra on that one, getting it to go right by her.
Of course, our Huntington FDN Sports crew bringing a lot of different looks tonight. 8 different cameras, including 2 on the floor as Holland goes out wide and gets her 3rd kill with a nice adjustment midair. The adjustments being made by our FDN Sports crew, though, quite amazing. 8 cameras for an NAIA Crossroads League regular season game. Quite impressive replay tonight. You can even take a look on top of the net. Just keeps getting better and better. Jonathan Peters producing tonight. We'll tell you about the rest of the crew in just a bit, but phenomenal start to our fresh season here, Brady. Left side, Cougars into the block that time. It's Kendall Fry from Homestead. Graduated a few years back in her junior campaign. Gets her 1st kill.
And just to touch on, like, really the scope that we're going at here on FDN Sports in NAIA, it's just so impressive to have 8 cameras. We've been working hard in class, discussing different opportunities for broadcasting volleyball. So it's cool to see it come to light here tonight.
The hitters for the Foresters right now as Boyer gets another one to go. They've been off balance a few times, but still getting enough on it to hit it off the blockers and drop it in. It's not been the most crisp connection we've seen a few times, but they're still falling in. It's incredible job.
Haven't been too many like clean, flush ones, but you're right, they're still going. Points are getting on the board. Can't really complain.
And it looks like the head coach, Scott Haddix, maybe wants to take a look at that last ace by the Foresters. It was Lauren Ross. We'll go ahead and keep it here while they discuss the replay of the ace. If it does fall in, it'd be 17-14 Foresters. And based off the body language of some of HU players, I saw Mason Robrock come over to Kelsey Herber and say, I think that one's out. So we'll just see how this one plays out as we sit here on a replay. But yeah, what a phenomenal job. Another thing that the FDN Sports crew and these students have created is replay review. You can't get these kind of looks at other schools for replay reviews, and they're so important. We've seen goaltending calls change basketball games. We've seen volleyball calls end matches as well. So it's really impressive what the students at HU here are doing.
And it's really attracting so many more new students to have such an impressive broadcast like this, like an ESPN Plus style broadcast. It's just so impressive. And I know seniors in high school, juniors in high school who are wanting to go into broadcasting, wanting to go into film, they can watch us and say, I'm going to be a part of something that is professional grade. And I just think that's so impressive.
Brady, it looks like I did make the rare mistake tonight. I see Annabelle Swigert on there. I don't know if it's Swigert or Swaggart on their website. So that was just the broadcaster error, trying to prepare with too many things on my plate sometimes.
Yeah, I saw her on the roster. I didn't want to contradict you,
hey,
Preston.
that's okay.
But you know what? Yeah.
You gotta fill me in sometimes. So we will wait to see what the result is here following the replay. When we get a chance, we'll come out and show you that replay as well. And once we have the answer, we'll know what the score is. But it's been a great start for both these teams. I don't think either one has played their best volleyball yet tonight. And that's kind of why the Cougars have hung around here in this first set against the Foresters.
And to just touch on how good HU has been this season, as we're going to get another look at the call at hand right here at some point. But right now, we're going to see what the refs have been looking at.
Looking to see if that one dropped in. And it looks like it was just wide of that back line. So the Foresters lose the point. That makes it a 1-point first set once more. 16-15 Foresters. Cougars with the serve, and it'll be Tegan Fortcamp, who's always dangerous back there.
She's had a very good season from behind the service line. She has 13 service aces this season. Looking to pick up another one here.
Fortcamp from Fort Recovery, Ohio. Has had a great all-around season again now as a sophomore. And again, Maggie Holland right there at that 10-foot line is just finding ways to put these shots away.
And she's getting it done on the outside, on the right, the left, the middle. She's really picking her spots, and it could be anywhere on the floor, and she's getting these kills to fall.
I know it's early, but maybe someone to watch for Freshman Player of the Year in the conference. Left side, big swing, and again off the blocks from Gumbel. Huntington has done a much better job recently blocking some of these attacks, but tonight, Gumbel seems to be hitting with so much force, so Huntington can't redirect that back to the Cougars' side.
And that's something that can be worked on in between sets, during a timeout. That's something that can be adjusted, whether it's a blocker standing just a bit further back. But that can be fixed, I believe.
One-handed tip from Carter, miscommunication from the Cougs, and Huntington benefits with a free chance. Ross goes middle to Cruz. And it looks like St. Francis into the net. Huntington back up 2.
Definitely a costly mistake right there. It's been back and forth. Both teams sort of trading blows, not being able to get out to that arm's length. St. Francis trying to stay within 1. They fall down 2 with one of the better servers on HU's roster off the service.
To the back line, left side, Chup again. Man, when she gets into it, the freshman from Warsaw at 6 feet tall can really get it going. She's had as many as 14 kills in a match against Brescia, 10 against Bryan, 10 against St. Mary, and that's a freshman with all that height and athleticism. She's got 2 tonight.
Imagine her and Holland on either side of the floor. That's a tough night for any opposing team.
Cruz gets one to go on the back line. That's someone that's been doing it a little longer than both those two and continues her strong senior year. Yeah, that's a tough high school team to go up against.
Yeah.
Of course, Chup and talked about Holland both going to Warsaw, about 45 minutes away from here.
Played in my conference, the NLC.
Yep.
Let's go, Cavemen.
Back row serve from Urban, and that one does fall in. And it looks like Coach Haddix wants a timeout. And what we will do is go ahead and take one with them. We got about 1 minute. We'll be back. It's 20-17.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's Washroom is ready to serve you.
Coach Scott Haddix now in year number 12 with St. Francis, giving a talking to his team down 20-17. Chupp right there, the freshman, having a nice night tonight. Swigert as well. Coach Kelsey Herber, she's in year number 7, and she's kind of in uncharted territories for this Forester program at 9-1. They're looking to start conference play out 1-0. I can't remember, are they back in action this weekend? I'm out of town, so I won't be able to be here, unfortunately.
They play Bethel Saturday here in Platte Arena at 1 p.m. But yeah, you're right. This is Kelsey Herber's best start of her coaching career and the best start in HU history. So uncharted waters, but she's doing a good job handling it in stride.
Set close to the net, and again, Swigert has it going with her 3rd kill. Make it 4 now on the night. Pulls her team back within 2.
Oh, she got up for that one. She almost had her whole head over the net. That's impressive.
Larry DeSimpliere, the Crossroads League commissioner, tuning in. He says, you guys are crushing it on the stream. Great game. Of course, Larry's son played basketball at Spring Arbor for 4 years. Always nice to see Larry when he is in town and chat with him. He's a big fan of FDN Sports, Brady, and tuning in tonight as the Foresters collect another block, this time Trevin Terry.
Trevin Terry has really started to develop as a defensive player, as a middle blocker. She had 11 total blocks on the road trip. She had 9 going in. She had 2 solo on the road trip as well, so she's really doing a better job defensively.
Haley Cruz with a good serve, trying to pick up an ace for the Foresters. It will create a free opportunity. Cruz and Urban and Terry and a block, and Chupp, who once again has not played the last 3 matches, is having a big night here in Platte Arena.
She's doing it all. She's getting kills. She's getting solo blocks right there. Wow, I can imagine how they would have gone on a skid without her on the floor.
Amy Gallo says go Foresters, assuming you might know who that is.
I know of her.
And Elena Norton, right?
Elena
tuning
Norton.
in from Mishawaka, watching tonight's match as the Foresters into the net there with a double touch from Urban. This one has been tight the whole way, and a couple of mistakes like this for HU have been the reason why.
Have not been able to create much separation as St. Francis tries to tie it right here.
21-20, first set. Holland has been busy, and she misses that sideline there. A tight one, but it did look to be wide. And now Coach Kelsey Herber trying to decide if she wants to call a timeout. Looks like she's going to let her team play through it.
We've seen Kelsey Herber do that a couple times, let her players play through it, so we'll see if it works out right now.
Urban sets up Boyer, who falls back. Terry keeps it off the floor. Left side, Holland calls for it, and it's into the antenna. Back-to-back errors by the Foresters has the Cougars in front. And now Coach Kelsey Herber wants a timeout. We'll go ahead and just keep it here during this timeout. It's been back and forth. Huntington looked like they were going to kind of run away with it there, 20-17. But since that Coach Haddix timeout, there's been a couple of mistakes like this from the Foresters off the antenna or just out. What gets them back on track here, and what do you think the message is from Coach Herber?
I just think timing and limiting some of those mistakes, like hitting the antenna, obviously not trying to do that right there, but Holland has just been so good just having better sets and getting the ball in the hands of your playmakers. I feel like we haven't called Cruz's name in a while, but getting her the ball and letting her make an impact here in the waiting moments here of set one, I think that'll draw them closer, hopefully to a win.
I still think some of those sets have been slightly off from the Foresters tonight as well. It looks like Boyer, a few times falling backwards. We saw Cruz have to hit an off-balance ball, so that connection just not quite sharp enough here to start this one. As that one goes out and ties it up, that's kind of a gift from St. Francis, 22-all.
A gift is right there. Just force HU to make a play. Coming out of the timeout, you have all the momentum. You have your first lead of the set. That's just an absolute backbreaker for the Cougars.
Ava Myers, freshman from Indian Creek High School, has had a phenomenal year serving the volleyball. Sends that one to the back row. Swagger again called for it right in the middle. Boyer, the transfer from Trinity Christian, having a nice year. Carter pushes it back. And again, Fort Camp, so good around the net for being the setter on this Cougars team.
Fort Camp and Swagger getting involved right there. Fort Camp has had a solid career as a blocker, only a sophomore, but she can really do it all, and she plays well close to the net.
So just 2 points away from taking the first set now. Sweeney sends one to the back row. Urban's going to set up Holland. Much better connection that time, and it finds the floor to tie us at 23.
When she gets it in between the lines, she is hard to stop right there as it hit off the tips of the fingers of the Cougars blockers and just falls right in front of Hannah Sweeney.
Lauren Ross, the team's starting setter, back in there to serve. Back row to the hands of Birch. Left side this time. That one goes long. No touch, and the Foresters now a point away from set one.
1 point away, and not many players you'd want back there other than Ross. She is a fantastic server and a fantastic setter.
Ross, good serve, nearly had an ace. Left side touched over. Ross keeps it alive. Meyer has to send it to Robrock, who got a pretty good right hand to that one. Left side shot pushed over by the Cougs. That was Kendall Fry at the net. Carter puts it away.
So we talked about those sets being on time, and that was in a perfect spot for Carter as she gets it to fall for the set win.
25-23, the Foresters battle back and take set one against the Cougars. We'll take a short break and get ready for set number two between the Foresters and the Cougars on FDN Sports.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
Back here in Platt Arena, Luke LaGrange from the men's basketball team, the fresh fiance, I should say, for Layla Meyer. So he just engaged not too long ago, an athlete here on campus. Some of our other fans, Tammy Gass, super fan, and Tim Abrils' wife, Kaisa, checking out the match as well. It's been a fun night here. Packed house. Of course, they're giving away some free T-shirts. I think we're going to have you show that eventually throughout this broadcast. The first 100 students got a free T-shirt tonight, and it's been excellent with our 8 cameras. But, man, the action on the court has been even better. 25-23. Foresters got it going there at the end as it was getting awfully tight for a while.
It was a fantastic set, and it's just so much more fun having this amount of fans in Platt Arena. And it's just so easy to get people in the door when you offer them something for free. Yeah. Offer them a shirt. I feel like whenever HU does something like that, the fans always turn out. But it's been fantastic. And the play on the court has been even better, as you mentioned. And HU really had to overcome some adversity in that first set. with some of the sets not being exactly where they needed to be, but they were still getting them to fall. Towards the end, they started to find their rhythm a little bit, as we saw in that last one, to finish the set. Perfectly on target, perfectly executed. So some more of that, I think HU is going to be able to get out to bigger leads and more decisive victories.
Take you through some of the stats from set number 1. Swigert, we got to know her name with 4 kills. Gumbel had 3. Dea Chupp had 2. She had a couple of blocks as well. Kendall Fry with 1 kill. Fort Camp had 1 kill, set up 10 attacks with 10 assists. Joe Delsing as well had 1. Haley Cruz and Maggie Holland led the way with 4 kills apiece. Robrock, Boyer, Carter all with 1. Lauren Ross led the way with 7 assists. Kennedy Urban added 3 more. It's that balanced attack we've seen from the Foresters time in and time out through these first 10 matches, and it's been an excellent start. There's only been 1 match all year, Brady, that Huntington has dropped more than 1 set, and it was the match they lost in against Campbellsville team that, quite honestly, they probably think they should have beat. So it's been dominant at times from HU as well.
Yeah, you obviously wish you could have that one back, sitting at 9-1, but I really do think that loss is going to be crucial for them. As Coach Herbert touched on, they discussed with their team how they're going to handle the loss. You're not going to go undefeated on the season. That's a bit unrealistic, but you want to win every single match. But learning from that loss and realizing, okay, we're not going to go undefeated. Let's lock in here. We got Crossroads League play coming up here. Let's focus on being the best team that we can be. I think in the long run, that's going to help them out.
Lauren Ross will continue to serve here for the Foresters. Gets us going with a far right serve right at the net. Fort Camp sets it up left side. It's blocked by the Foresters from Fry. And back row swing from Cruz is into the net. It's an error to start the second set for HU. They've been running that play more here tonight, having those attackers come from the back row down the chute and hit from the middle. And it's been pretty effective. Of course, that one didn't fall in.
Not the plays fall, just a bit of a, not the execution you would have wanted.
Fort Camp gets her team a free ball. It's right side Gumbel, and she gets it to go in off the blockers.
Gumbel was pretty active early on in set 1. Didn't call her name too much towards the end, but she gets involved right here in set 2, picking up the first kill.
She's just a sophomore. Last year as a freshman, 55 kills. Already this year, 75. Now she's having a big sophomore year, and Fort Camp has got her team buzzing right now, up 3-0. And a lot of these points coming because of the pressure of her serves. As you see an ace right here, her 14th of the year.
Not the way you wanted to start out set number 2 for the Foresters. See if they can get rid of some of this momentum that the Cougars are trying to build.
Handled nicely by Meyer. There's Holland coming right down the center again. Left side pushed over and drops in. That's Kendall Fry with a kill. Coach Kelsey Herbert not going to use a timeout yet. Encouraging her team, only down 4 here to start this second set.
As I mentioned in the previous set, Herbert has tons of confidence in her players. Doesn't feel the need to call timeouts in situations like this. Just trust that our leaders are going to be able to sort it out.
Ross goes to Holland, and right now it's all St. Francis. A 5-0 run to start set number 2. And you can feel the momentum coming from our left. It's a break for Coach Kelsey Herbert. We'll go ahead and take one with her. We'll come back in about a minute. Foresters need a big start to this second set.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's Washroom is ready to serve you.
Back here in set number 2, it's a 5-0 start for St. Francis here in the second set. Huntington took the first set 25-23. Right now it's all Cougars. They've got it working on the attack. Fort Camp has been busy on the service line. And man, they're blocking a lot of shots right now here in the second set from HU. Fort Camp, another rolling serve from a jump serve. Ross goes left side. Robrock tips it over. Fort Camp is right there. Sweeney sets it up, a lot of heat on it. Meyer somehow kept it alive. Left side now, off balance. Forrester's block, and it's off the Cougars and out. A hard-fought point on the defensive side by HU that time.
And that's huge right there. I know it's only 1 point, but going up 6-0 would be a killer for HU. Great play by Layla Meyer just to keep that one up, even though it was coming down with some force.
Cron gets it going for the Foresters. Right side swing is to the back row. Good job by Ross to readjust. Meyer setting up a teammate this time, and Robrock knocks it in off a few blockers.
Coach Herbert nodding her head. Surely she's happy with the way that her team has responded coming out of the timeout.
Cron can get on a good run from that service line. Fort Camp sets it up. Forrester's block again. Carter tried pushing it to the back row. Right side, Gumbel has to force one far side for a free ball. Meyer sets up Cruz, who rises and knocks in another 3 straight for the Foresters.
Cruz in rhythm, in her spot right there. I feel like we haven't said her name as much as we normally would on a night like tonight, but she gets involved right there for her 5th kill of the night.
Leading the way for the Foresters at the moment. Holland right behind her. Push shot over this time by Gumbel. Carter has to return the favor. Fort Camp taps it, and a missed jump in the middle by McMullen has Huntington back within 1.
And clearly frustrated right there. Just a bit too tall. Knew she wasn't going to be able to get it over, and the Foresters are right back in this thing.
McMullen, the junior middle hitter, will sub out, and it's Emily Hughes, the senior, coming in. Crott, good serve there. Fort Camp gonna have to set one to the back row, and that serve sets up another free ball. Cron, Ross, and Cruz tips it in, and it does hit the floor. 5 straight to come right back from HU.
So we got a brand new set. Might as well be 0-0. Both teams going on 5-point unanswered runs. We'll see who takes the edge right here.
Cron has sent some great serves to that back row, and this time it looks like St. Francis might have been out of rotation. They give a point right to HU. 6 straight now. You do not see that call very often at all.
No.
Cron with the serve, and again St. Francis out of rotation once more.
Got to figure out what's going on right there. Just gave HU 2 points without doing anything. Coach Haddock's having a discussion with his team.
Trying to listen in to see what might be happening here on the Cougar side. This was before the ball was even put in for the serve.
Clearly the referee saw something because, yeah, as you mentioned, as soon as the ball was struck, a whistle was blown. Cougars didn't even have a chance.
So Coach Haddock's giving his explanation as players are watching curiously. This would be a 7-0 run from HU. And St. Francis didn't really have much of a question after the first one, but after the second call came in a row, they want to stop that because they're just giving Huntington points at the moment.
Yeah, we saw some palms in the air. Like, they made an adjustment after the first one, but I guess it still wasn't up to the standards of the referee, so they're going to get whistled for another one. Try to avoid making it 3 right here.
I think they might replay the point. Could be wrong. Waiting to see if they adjust the score here. Looks like the discussion is going to happen with Coach Kelsey Herbert. I saw the 2 thumbs up go as if you'd see in a basketball game as a jump ball. In volleyball, that means we're going to redo the point. So,
yeah, they take it off the board.
Yep, I thought so. So it's still 6-5. The first violation will count. And it's 6-5 HU. Kelsey Herbert seemed okay with the explanation. We didn't get one, but we're okay with it too. Foresters with 6 straight here, battling back. Gumbel rises, can't get the one to drop with Meyer picking it up. Cruz, a big swing, and you called it. They need to get it to Haley Cruz. They're doing it here in set 2.
Get the ball to your playmakers. It's as simple as that. Haley Cruz is one of the most dangerous strikers in the Crossroads League and in this gym right now.
Fort Camp trying to get her team back on track. It's tipped over by Cruz. A little off balance there for the Foresters. Right now, St. Francis a little out of sorts on the attack as well. Sweeney, Fort Camp, left side, big swing. Looks like the antenna was touched, and it was by Fry. 8 straight from HU. It looked like they were going to get ran out of the gym here in set number 2. That's not the case.
8 straight, but 2 of them coming for free, basically. Get out to a 5-0 run, pretty much mistake-free. Now committing a couple errors here. That's not how you stay in the game.
Seeing Madison Dory for the first time tonight. She has her first swing and collects a kill right away as Coach Herber telling Layla Meyer to stay out of press row this time.
Yes, stay on the floor. We don't need you diving for that one. She is one of the most crucial players on the floor and on the team for HU.
See, camera lady down the row getting involved as well. Alana diving out of the way. She won't get a dig if she is able to pick one out. She doesn't want Layla Meyer taking her out either. Carter gets back to work right in the middle.
So what an impressive run right here for HU. I feel like a lot of teams down 5-0 in set 2 after a hard-fought set 1 would not be responding as good as this Forester squad is right now. They have gotten right back to work after that timeout by Coach Herber and gotten themselves right back in this game and with a lead.
Meyer goes long with the serve. There haven't been many mistakes at all from HU from the service line. In fact, I think that's their first of the night. It's been pretty crisp from back there. Make it the second of the night, but mostly doing a great job. Cruz receives well. Ross goes to Robrock, who can't get that one to go in. It's a left side Chup shot that falls in on the back row. Kelsey Herber nods her head yes, as that one just found the back line.
I believe that's Chup's 3rd kill of the night. Surprised she only has 3 because her first 2 were loud. They felt like they should have counted for 1 or 2, but she picks up 1 right there.
So we're back to tied. Well, I thought we were. It's actually 10-8 Foresters. They were ahead 9-8 before that service there. Want to real quickly give a shout out to all our crew members tonight. Emmy Malone, our team leader. Jonathan Peters producing. Adria Ruberg, she's directing and the technical director. Dylan Whitman's on audio. Emmy Malone also serving as replay tonight. Jarrett on playback. Brady Gallo and Preston Husband, of course, here on the broadcast as Fort Camp gets it to Swigert, who's got another kill. Elena Marino is on Plex Cam 1. Bryant Faustino Ramirez on Cam 2. Mia Harrison, Plex Cam 3. Lana Cantu, I hope I'm saying that right, on Plex Cam 4. And, of course, Bryce Garrett doing all the social media. And you can go to our FDN Sports social media pages and see everything that Bryce creates throughout the matches. Boyer with a swing from the left side. Fort Camp sets up Chup, gets it off some blockers, and Urban couldn't tap it back over. Chup is really impressing here in her first Crossroads League match.
Oh, yeah, she has been fantastic. Missed a couple games, as you mentioned, with a mysterious injury, whatever, but she has made a huge impact here, and she already has 4 kills.
Back to serve. Brenna Haynes from Portland, Indiana for the first time tonight. Boyer goes way long, and now Huntington kind of returning some of those errors that we saw St. Francis making.
Urban and Boyer just been a bit out of sync so far tonight. Didn't have that one right where she needed it. Kind of stepped back, and as you can see, hit it way too far out.
Long serve goes to Layla Meyer. Urban sets up Cruz, and that's a block right there from Chup once more.
So she's got 2 solo blocks. I mean, what can't she do? She has been absolutely fantastic tonight. And with Cruz going down there on the outside to block it, that's not an easy task. Good job getting that block.
Good serve from the back row this time. Urban just pushes it over. Smart play from the sophomore.
Haven't seen much of that tonight, but Urban has been so good this season, deciding when to throw those change-ups, just dump it right over. Does a good job reading the defense, getting that one to go.
See if Haley Cruz can get her big serve working here. Huntington down 12-11, and she just missed an ace. So it's 13-11 now, St. Francis.
It's a big-time break for the Cougars. Get one of the best servicers for the Forcers off the service line and even things up in the process. Or actually, they've taken a 2-point lead, it looks like.
It's Kellen Birch now back to serve. Cruz, Urban, sets up Boyer. Again, just a little off balance. Fort Camp keeps it off the logo. Left side swing is wide and too long from Dory.
So back and forth, sort of switching roles here in set one. It was the Forcers who always led by 1 point, 2 point, not really able to create that separation. Same is true with the Cougars here in set number 2, up by 1 point, 2 points, as they're gonna go up 2 right here. Let's see if they can create some separation here.
This has not been the crisp volleyball that we have seen from HU throughout most of tonight's match. It's gotten a little more out of sorts recently with a couple of service errors and mistakes on the attack. Holland, Urban, back to Holland, off balance and again out of play.
So Cougars right here going up 3. They obviously went on that 5-0 run to start the set. They would love another one right here.
Holland, Urban this time picks Boyer, who goes long once more. That connection has been off tonight, and Coach Kelsey Herber is aware. We're going to go ahead and take a short break. When we come back, Huntington looking for another big run, down 4 in set 2.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
As any sport can be, a game of runs, and that's what we've got here in set number 2. It was St. Francis out to a 5-0 start. Huntington bounced back with 7 straight, made it 7-5. We were all locked up at 12-12, and now a 4-0 run for St. Francis to make it 16-12. And they are in the driver's seat here in set 2, trying to tie up the match. Huntington took set 1 25-23. It's been back and forth all night. Sweeney, the libero, finds Holland, who goes quick to Carter, and again, Huntington just cannot find that back line right now.
Getting into that rhythm has been a struggle. We've seen that throughout the majority of the night, and the Forcers find themselves in another big hole, down by 5.
Cruz this time gives a free ball, and that is out. Excellent opportunity for Hughes, who just couldn't find the court.
That's a huge break and a huge mistake for the Cougars right there. Could not have asked for an easier chance. A free point right there was on the table. Just hit off the side of her hand. Big time break for the Forcers.
Ross, flat-footed serve. Fort Camp goes far side for the big swing, but a block off the shot from Dory, and that's Leah Carter this time.
Leah Carter is starting to make a bigger impact on the defensive side of the net. You can see she's the tallest one on the court right now, and she uses her size to her advantage on that play.
Ross to the back row with the serve. Dory again off balance. Huntington knocks it right back at her. A free opportunity for the Foresters nearly created, and it falls in for another Leah Carter kill.
Where? The line judge. I'm clueless with the ball,
yeah,
Preston.
I know. Just gotta find someone on the far side. Usually it's the women's basketball players who are taking care. Show off that pitching arm.
I'm a baseball player. I had the ball in my hand, and I was just unsure of what to do with it.
It's
I
a
froze.
little scary.
I know.
You're in the spotlight.
My heart rate was up.
Free ball again. Carter puts it away. Brady almost gets another souvenir.
Come on. Where are they at?
Let's see. Make it up better.
Where are they at?
There you go. Coach Haddix will take care of you.
So I'm supposed to throw it all the way across the court?
Yeah.
That's unrealistic, Preston.
See the fastball. I'm sure Coach Thad Frame would love to see that. 17-16, Foresters down 1. New setter in the match for the Cougars, and it works out quite well as Fort Camp is now doing some of the swinging.
Fort Camp really doing it all right there. She picks up her second kill of the match. And a good job by the Cougars. Sort of, Foresters got back in it. They got to within 2, but now looking to go on a run here to close things out.
Fort Camp creates a free ball now, and again, it's wide. I looked wide, but I guess that did catch a line. Tough to see from this angle. Yeah, it did. It found the line. 19-16.
Far too many free opportunities for the Cougars. Got to take care of the volleyball as they're going to pick up an ace.
Fort Camp is by far their best player, and she is showing it right now. You know, she worked a lot as a right side hitter last year as a freshman. That's why she has those 141 kills, 600 assists, 154 digs, 29 aces. And she is probably going to surpass all those this year. Holland can't get it to go. It's a block again in the middle, this time by Emily Hughes. Huntington back down 5.
To add on to Fort Camp, along with all of that, she is ranked 3rd in the Crossroads League in assists with 331 total. So she is really a great all-around player.
Came in tonight with 13 aces already, has added a few to her total. Ross quickly to Carter. Little better connection, but can't find the floor, and that one's around the antenna and out, as that came off the hand of Dory.
So HU down but not out. They're chasing 4 right now. They overcame a 5-point deficit early on in the match. So let's see if they got another trick here up their sleeve.
Cron went on a nice run her last time at the service line. Left side Gumbel, who just explodes and finds the floor. Coach Kelsey Erber wondering about that one as well. Again, just can't quite tell from our angle, but it looks like it tickled the line.
And Gumbel, if she got that one, and the line judges say she did a fantastic job adjusting in midair. That one was a bit behind her. Did a good job just to sneak it in the back right corner, right in front of the line judge.
Gumbel up to 5 kills now on the night. Ross goes right side to Robrock, who had been quiet, but gets right back to work.
Robrock was getting fed early on in set 1. Hasn't had too many chances up until now as she picks up a kill.
That shot was close to being out if Sweeney didn't stick that left foot at it.
I think it would have been out. It actually got her foot.
Yeah. And Meyer dumps in an ace.
That one looked like a changeup right there, like it knuckled on number 20, Isabel Freeze, and landed right in front of her.
She's got 113 career aces now.
Wow.
She's had a phenomenal career as a Forester out of Heritage High School, Monroeville, and now the Foresters get another block. It's a combination of Trevin Terry and Mason Robrock.
I touched on it earlier. The defensive development of Trevin Terry as of late comes in huge right there as they're going to get another chance to draw within 1.
Meyer, another good serve. Right side Gumbel goes to the hands of Cron, kept alive. Cruz has to force it over. Sweeney, Fort Camp, Gumbel off balance, back row. Huntington can now attack with Cruz in transition, just rolled it over. Sweeney and Gumbel, backside shot, Ross. Meyer sets up Robrock, who's off balance. Fort Camp, this time Chupp off the top of the net, kept alive by Olivia Cron. Cruz, short shot doesn't fall in. Sweeney forces a free ball over. Quickly to Robrock into the net, and that one didn't get over the net, and it's a long point won by St. Francis.
So many great defensive plays, really by both teams during that volley, but the one I want to point out is Freeze, number 20, getting that hand under and pancaking it. That could have been a kill for HU, but she keeps the play alive, and as you see, they get the point.
23-20 now, closing into a second set victory. And over the net, touching that one was Lauren Ross. That's a violation on her, and now it's within 1 point of St. Francis tying it up. What a back and forth affair we've got going on tonight.
Been fantastic to watch.
Emily Hughes, senior, finds Layla Meyer with another nice reception. Ross and Cruz keep Huntington alive for now.
The Cougars might just be trying to play it safe right there. Didn't seem to have any interest in getting in the way of that one, but Cruz puts it within the lines and keeps HU alive.
Kennedy Urban with the second set on the line. Right side Gumbel, 10-foot shot. Meyer got hands to it. Cruz will get a good shot off. Nice save again on the back row. Foresters with another block. This time it was Trevin Terry.
They just won't go away. As soon as you feel like the Cougars are gonna put the nail in the coffin, HU responds back with 1 or 2 points. Still on the brink of defeat, but staying alive here towards the end.
Urban has a clean one in, poked over by Swigert, and that time the blockers couldn't get it in. And it's a second set win, 25-22 for USF. Take a short break. When we come back, it's all tied up 1-1 between St. Francis and Huntington University.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
To me, Forester Camp is fellowship.
To me, Forester Camp is like engaging.
To me, Forester Camp was inspiring.
I hoped that I would be able to make more friends who have not really been around much.
How I describe this camp is pretty chill and like fun.
And it's fun too. It's something that like people can be engaged in and have a great time, but also still learn life lessons and lessons about the Bible, kind of see the world from a different perspective.
Fun every single day, and you meet a lot of new people. It's pretty judgment-free because everyone's all in the same boat.
You don't really have anything to lose by coming to the camp. I think a lot of people are scared to take that risk. I could promise you that you wouldn't be bored or not have a good time here.
Something only happens one time in the universe. It never happens exactly the same. So like, you better take your opportunity while you can.
The winning point for St. Francis in the second set. Swigert again taps out one against the blockers, and now it's tied up 1-1 as we head to set 3. Can't ask for a better environment here tonight and really a better match to watch. It has been so back and forth. Neither team's really grabbed firm control, but at times both teams have looked somewhat dominant in each set.
Yeah, dominant is the right word for both teams. Cougars getting out to a 5-0 run to start the set. Huntington responding right back. Neither team has really put it all together, but it's been fantastic from a viewing perspective, and having this many fans and students inside of Platt Arena, it's really been a pleasure to be in the building.
So just about set to go here in set number 3. Huntington won set 1 by 2. St. Francis won set 2 by 3. And we'll see which team can grab control of the match here in set number 3. Once again, wherever you're watching, you can leave a comment on the YouTube channel. We'll say hello to you. Whether you're watching the Foresters or the Cougars, it does not matter. We'd love to know where you're watching from and if you're enjoying some HU or St. Francis volleyball here tonight. HU will be right back in action here at home on Saturday. I'll be at a wedding in Kansas City, so Brady, it sounds like you might have the reins for that one. I don't know.
We'll see. I might have baseball practice that day, so but we'll figure it out.
We might just have no commentators. You guys will have to make it up on your own. Fort Camp, who went on a great run serving it earlier, gets it going here. Robrock into the blockers, gets one to drop in.
So a good start right there. We saw how important the first 5 points of the set were for both teams. So see if Huntington can get out to a run and seize some of that momentum early here in set number 3.
Cron sends one to Sweeney. Fort Camp sets up Gumbel. Awkward shot. Carter just tapped it right back over. In the middle, no one's there. It looked like they were looking for a center runner, and no one stepped up for St. Francis. Huntington gets a free point, 2-0 here in the third.
That play from the start just sort of looked out of order for the Cougars. I'm not surprised that they made a mistake right there, but how do they respond is the important question.
Fort Camp this time goes to the right side. On the back row, Cron keeps it up. Cruz falls off and gets it to go off the blockers and out of play for a 3-0 lead.
Seems like we're watching set 2 all over again as HU this time getting out to a run to start the set.
Cron once more. This time finds Sweeney. Fort Camp right in the middle. Foresters block once more. That was Dory looking for a kill. Gumbel goes a little too long, and it's a 4-point run right out of the gate in set 2 for HU.
We'll see how long of a leash Coach Haddix has on his players here. Already down 4. At seeing how set 1 went, we'll see how he wants to use his timeouts.
Left side, Fort Camp, Gumbel, Meyer with a great dig. Ross goes to Cruz, who's looking for her second kill in set number 3. Not this time. Dory goes cross-court, Cruz. Ross quickly to Carter with some heat.
Leah Carter getting involved. She has 3 kills and 4 blocks tonight. She's been getting it done in each and every way tonight.
So Carter puts her team up 5-0. Like you said, this is how set 2 started for St. Francis. They had a 5-0 lead. Huntington rattled back. See if St. Francis can do the same. Right side, Gumbel has it blocked. Robrock digs it out of trouble. And Ross will get a rare swing. Right at the net, Ross again keeps it alive, and it falls over for a hit, a kill, and you can see right now, over on the right side, McMullen is out of sorts and actually just asked to be subbed out.
Yeah, not a smile in sight from the Cougar sideline, and those are the type of breaks that you get when you're on a 5-0 run right there for HU. Just a fortunate gift.
HU a chance to go up 7 now. Ross and Carter blocked that time, but another chance. Meyer and Robrock, her best swing of the night.
So no timeouts right here. The Cougars gonna sort of wear in this one right now. Down by 7 with HU showing no signs of stopping.
Coach Haddix gonna let his team play. Free chance for Carter, she tips it in. Right now, St. Francis all out of sorts, running into one another while trying to set up some of these plays. Cron, Ross quickly to Carter, and she got it into the net. And Leah's asking Lauren to hit that one just a little higher to get her set up.
It's a game of inches right there. Could have easily been an 8-0 run, but like you said, just a bit too short on the set. But still a fantastic start for the Foresters, up 7-1.
Katie Mills, freshman from Decatur, went to Belmont, same place that Lauren Ross played her high school ball. Meyer flips one to Cruz, who pokes it in the middle. Fort Camp, right side, Gumbel. That connection kept alive somehow by HU for a moment, but it falls in for another Gumbel kill.
That ball hung up just by a couple feet. I'm surprised 3 HU players got their hands on it, but eventually it falls down. Cougars get the point.
If you're Huntington, you'd love to find a way to really put this one out of question.
Oh, yeah.
Starting with that 7-0 lead. You don't want St. Francis to come back here. Carter got it higher that time from Ross, and it worked much better.
And that'll help. Like you said, I agree. Getting out to a more decisive start. 6 points, 5 points is great, but as we saw in the first 2 sets, no lead is really safe, but maybe getting out to potentially a double-digit lead, 7, 8 points, somewhere where you feel more comfortable.
Camp, left side Chup with a big swing. Cron tried to play it, but it's into the net and down for another Chup kill.
Boy, when Chup gets up and she gets the right set, she is dangerous. She puts it down with some force.
Emily Hughes back to work on the service line. Huntington leads 8-3. Match tied 1-1. Cruz nicely to Ross, who goes to Robrock, who is blocked. Cron will set up Cruz for a 12-foot shot. Can't get it to fall in right at the net. Fort Camp had it tipped to Swigert. Huntington miscommunicates, and it falls in for another point.
That one ends up falling, but I'm interested to see how they would score that, because I think Ross and Robrock both got their hands on it maybe at the same time. So if HU were to have another player in the area, would that count as a point if they were to get it over? We don't see that there, but interesting thought.
Ross to Terry, and now the middle hitter's starting to get it working for the Foresters.
So they kill the run right there. Still up by 5, but going to hammer it home. Would like to see HU get out to a bit of a bigger lead somewhere where the St. Francis Cougars can't come back from.
Kennedy Urban back to work from the service line. And a good one as Gumbel takes a swing from the back row and drops in another kill. So powerful is Gumbel each time she gets a chance.
The Cougars have no interest of calling it quits here in set number 3. They've done a good job not lying down and fighting this thing to the end, as it's only the start of the set number 3, but they're looking to stay in and stay competitive.
That one goes out as it was a nice serve from Haynes, just couldn't keep it in play. Huntington back up 5, 10-5. Cron is really battling what looks to be a leg injury as well. She's been slow on some of these plays, almost limping at times. A left upper leg injury bothering her here tonight. Cruz, good serve, and it's good enough for an ace.
Haven't seen too many aces here tonight for the Foresters, which was really a key to the game for them in their homestand. Once those start falling, this Forester squad becomes even more dangerous.
11-5, coming off a Haley Cruz ace, looking for 2 straight. Another powerful serve. Fort Camp right at the net. Swigert connects. First time we've called her name in a while.
Swigert had a big first 2 sets. She has 7 kills on the night, and those middle hitters really for both sides have made such an impact. Cruz has obviously been excellent, and Cougars outside hitters have been great as well, but really the middle is where the difference is being made.
Kellen Birch sends one over the top of the net. Cruz handles it well. Urban goes to Holland, who's had a quiet second and third set. Birch with a nice stabbing effort on the far side. Right at the net, Terry tips one through a few defenders. You can see Trevin Terry and Leah Carter both, when they don't think the ball is set quite high enough, they'll turn to either Urban or Ross and say, I want that one just a little higher. And usually the next time around they get that wish.
It's all about accountability and letting your setter know what you want. They're doing a good job of it.
Chuck with a soft one. It rolls into the net. It looks like St. Francis hit the net. Huntington up 7.
So keeping the Cougars at an arm's length, not exactly dominant, but maintaining that 6-point, 7-point lead. That's what you want to see if you're a Forester fan.
13-6, Ava Myers back into serve. Sends a spinning one to the back row to Birch. Right side, Swigert blocked this time, and it falls in as Leah Carter gets involved again, blocking at the net.
Ava Myers at the service line has really been good. She's a freshman, has been brought in mainly as a service specialist. She had a great game against Indiana East last time here in Platt Arena, as I think I just jinxed her right there, but she has been so good from the service line this season.
Huntington still up 14-7 though, doubling up the Cougars here in set 3. Layla Meyer back in. Boyer will join the Foresters as well. And it'll be Sweeney, Fort Wayne Lures graduate, back into serve in her senior year. Boyer has been a little off tonight. That time couldn't get much behind it. Chupp always has something behind it, except that wasn't her. It was Madison Dory with the kill. Those two both kind of look alike. Tall, blonde.
And I could see how you think it was Chupp when it came down with that velocity off her hand, but obviously a powerful spike there by Dory.
Anna Sweeney, good serve to Cruz. Holland just has to lift one over. St. Francis trying to come all the way back. And it looks like that was a throw called on Fort Camp. Got a little too much handle on that, got called for it.
You don't see that called too much right there, as just got a bit too much in the palm right there. And that's gonna be a whistle.
Claire Folk in for the first time from Fremont, Indiana. Limited time behind Fort Camp. She goes mostly as a setter, but Fort Camp now will hit, as you see right here. And she nearly has another kill as Ross keeps it alive with Robrock. And Holland, a miraculous point for the Foresters.
Really had to get that one to go with both Meyer and HU players maybe being out of breath after running and diving on the floor right there. But good to see Holland get back on the score column. Haven't called her name in a while. She had a big set 1.
Left side this time. Foresters block once more as Dory cannot get it past Robrock and Carter. 17-8. Coach Haddock's keeping his timeouts though.
Yeah, that's been interesting so far this set. Obviously, I'm not a volleyball coach, but got those timeouts. Might as well use them. I mean, you're down by 9. See if you got someone in the bag.
Lauren Ross, good serve to the back row. And it'll be a swing from Fort Camp, who's been doing the setting, but that time set up by Folk. She's so dynamic because what they want to do, Brady, is use her as a right side hitter when it is nearly her turn, or her turn is coming up next to serve. So she can get a kill, and then she can go back and use this powerful jump serve to get a run going for USF, and that's what they need right now. Holland receives well. Ross goes right back to Maggie and gets one to drop in right on the back row.
Well, just to expand on Fort Camp, she's had some impressive kill numbers throughout her career. I actually looked back to see if she was still listed as a setter in previous years, and she always is, but just a very dynamic player, can do it all.
She's setting up teammates here. It won't lead to a kill as Meyer has another dig. Cruz, big swing from the left side and in.
Not much you can do right there. Got it in rhythm, got to her spot, and she gets it to go in the back right corner.
She's now into double digits on the night, having another huge game as Haley Cruz.
As I mentioned in the pregame, Cruz inching closer to 1,000 kills on her career. This match goes 5 sets, which it might. She could potentially get close to reaching that margin.
Robrock with a nice chance. Cruz looking for another, asking for a touch. Not gonna get one there. She was trying to creep closer to the 1K mark. See the replay here. Didn't look like there was a touch, and Cruz went just wide. 19-10 though. Huntington kind of finally has what you would feel like is firm control of this third set.
It's really the only set that either team has taken control. HU did a good job coming out of the break with some energy and maintaining that throughout the entire set. We've seen in other sets teams get out to runs, but just not being able to maintain that. HU's done a great job maintaining.
The officials having a conversation here just before Katie Mills, the freshman, gets ready to serve. 11 matches, 31 sets coming into tonight, 9 aces. So pretty good server is the freshman. Cron, Ross, Robrock, and a nice dig there on the back row by previously mentioned Mills. Chupp has it blocked, kept alive by Lauren Ross. Carter pushes it right back. At the net, Carter pushes it long, and it was St. Francis over the net. Huntington goes up 10. What a point that was.
Yeah, what a point. It wouldn't have even mattered if they got their hand on the net or not, as that one fell in the back right corner. But those points are really the difference makers as Huntington goes up by double digits here, closing in on a set 3 win.
Those are the ones you put a star next to when you go back and watch film. You think that point, even though we're up 9, just makes it so much easier. And of course, it's a lot easier for the Foresters when Layla Meyer is serving. She just continues to stack up aces.
She is dangerous. She definitely makes things difficult for whoever's back there who has to field her serves. She's been racking up aces all season long.
That one into the net, 21-11 now. Huntington creeping closer to taking a 2-1 advantage here in set number 3.
I'm 2 for 2, Preston. I think I won't say anything good about our servers ever again, because I feel like whenever I do, they make an error.
Can't do it anymore.
No.
Hard serve into the hands of Cruz. Ross goes right side to Robrock, who's got a big swing. It doesn't fall in, though. Camp, Chupp finds Meyer. Cruz this time looking to tap it in. Can't do so. Ross goes back to Mason, who taps one over. Nicely covered by Gumbel. Chupp off the blocks. Ross to Terry, who puts it away.
Took a couple tries right there, but Trevin Terry ends up converting right there. She's known for being pretty consistent with her kills. The consistency went down just slightly on the road trip, but she gets that one to go right there.
Coach Addix finally wants to use a timeout. We'll go ahead and use one as well. It's 22-11 in set 3. Foresters in front when we come back.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's washroom is ready to serve you.
(22-11) as the Foresters are looking to take a 2-1 advantage here in set number 3. It's been a back and forth affair. This one a little more dominant by Huntington. They'd like to put this one away quickly and try to win their 7th straight match at home. Swigert mishit there. Urban with a good cover. Meyer was looking for a dump kill and couldn't get it to go. And it's back within 10 for USF.
Swigert, I'm assuming that was a miss hit right there, but it almost ended up working. She had some backspin and just got it over the blockers. Almost landed on the hardwood.
So Claire Folk, who has come in to set a few times for Fort Camp, will now serve. It's a hard one to the back row again. Urban, Boyer, that connection still just slightly off a few times. There's Fort Camp getting set up by Folk. Boyer again has to just push it over. Sweeney, left side Chupp with that off left hand. We've seen that a few times as well. And now Cruz goes with her strong right. No mistake with that. Sweeney and Chupp force over a free ball, and it never even finds the line, and it's a free point for HU.
So HU hasn't been hurt by it too much, but yeah, you're right. We've touched on it a couple times. The connection between Urban and Boyer, just a couple ticks off. We've seen when Boyer gets in rhythm and gets the ball where she wants it, she has some serious power. This hasn't gotten too many opportunities here tonight.
Kayla Cruz with a big serve into the net. Back within 10 come the Cougars, 23-13.
Number 6, Madison Corey. Number 1, Kellen Birch.
So Kellen Birch from Bluffton, Indiana, went to Adams Central. We'll have the serve here with her team down 10. It'll take a big run from USF, and that's not a good way to start it. It's another service error. Huntington within 1 of closing out set 3.
If you were going to go on a run, that is, like you said, not the way you want to start it right there, as HU is just 1 point away, taking it 2 sets to 1 lead.
Ava Myers, the freshman, will try to put this third set away. Folk, left side. Dory into the blockers. There's Myers picking up a dig. Holland off the blockers. Puts this one in Huntington's favor. 25-13, dominant third set after dropping set number 2, Brady, and that's what the Foresters were looking for. Go ahead and take a short break. We'll come back for set number 4, see if Huntington can stay perfect here at home.
We were shooting a film yesterday, had a camper who had never done anything with sound before. She did one little workshop, took about an hour and a half, and by the end of the workshop, she was feeling a lot more confident. She showed up on set, and she's running boom, and she's recording on the field recorder. She's just elated by how much fun she's having. Every camper that comes through ends up making like between 2 and 4 projects throughout just 1 week. It's unbelievably cool.
Yeah, it was very cool to actually hold a camera that they use to make films, which I always wanted to do.
We designed the character that we would be animating in Toon Boom on Photoshop, and I fell in love with Photoshop in ways I've never thought I would.
Honestly, all of the professors and the directors and teachers are so gifted in their craft, pretty much masters of what they do.
I've been interested in animation since I was really young. Animated movies have always been my favorite.
Heard about it from my dad. He had saw that they're having an animation camp. I told him that I want to go.
So my photography made me interested in working with cameras, and that's what I want to do.
It was a camp that had so much to offer, like everything I was interested in, it was being taught here and stuff.
The knowledge of animation, how it works, and getting better at it so I can pursue my future career.
And I've always just kind of been interested in this for so long, it was like I couldn't really pass it up. And I have learned those things, like professional things that I would not be able to do at home.
Some of my favorite experiences were just getting out and talking to people with similar interests, people who are passionate with like the same thing that you're passionate with.
Back in Platt Arena, just about set number 4, and Huntington leads the match 2-1. Brady, it's been back and forth, but man, that was the best showing so far of the night there in set 3 by the Foresters.
Yeah, dominant is the word I would use to describe set number 3 for the Foresters. Took control early and did not let the Cougars get back in the game, which is what they've been lacking in the first 2 sets. They did a great job there. Let's see if they can finish the job and get out here in 4 sets.
Huntington being led, of course, by Haley Cruz, who has 10 kills now. Holland has 7. Mason Robrock and Leah Carter both have 5. Trevin Terry with 3 kills. Urban has added 1. Boyer has added 1. Lauren Ross also has 1. For USF, it's Swaggart with 9. Gumble has 7. Chupp, the freshman, with 5. Fort Camp has added 3. 2 for Dory, 2 for Fry, 1 for Hughes, 1 for Delsing. It's been pretty balanced for both teams, and that's why those first 2 sets especially were so tight. That second one, it was just a lot of St. Francis errors, and when you get down 7-0 to start a set, it's nearly impossible to overcome.
And really, what a privilege for HU to have so many different players being able to put points on the board with kills, whether it's Carter, Holland, Cruz, Robrock, anyone. There's just so many different players that can impact the game on the scoreboard for the Huntington Foresters.
Lauren Ross will be the Forester to get us started here in set number 4. Of course, if St. Francis wins this one, we'll play a 1st to 15, win by 2. Set number 5. We've not seen a 5-setter here at home yet this year, and HU's only played in 1 as Ross gets it started. Meyer and Cruz were still chatting as the ball was put in play. Gumble goes to the hands of Ross. Outside, Rayson Robrock sends one into the bleachers for the first point of set 4.
Robrock quietly having a solid night. She has 5 kills, picks up 1 right there. She's taking a bit of a back seat as Cruz has taken the lead with kills, but she is still very effective out wide.
Ross Her second straight serve. Fort Camp too tall on the left side to Kira Parker. First time we've seen her tonight. And a couple of missed connections have HU up 2-0.
Parker, I assume, would be a tough player to miss. She stands out there, probably the tallest player on the court right now.
6'2" is the tallest Cougar out there at the moment. She's gonna have to be set up here, but it's an ace instead, and HU's up 3-0 just like that. This is a dream start to the fourth set. You love to push it out and leave no doubt in this match.
Oh yeah, for HU for sure, but for the Cougars, where is the team that we saw in set number 2? They're letting HU really just control everything so far.
Fort Camp sets up Gumbel. That one never got over the net. Quickly, 4 straight for the Foresters.
This is really what we saw from HU in their last homestand, especially against Indiana East and St. Mary of the Woods. Just a fantastic reduction from the service line, from inside, from outside, from everywhere. They're doing a fantastic job all around here this evening.
Ross goes long, and I guess it was in, yeah. I thought it looked long from my view, but again, the coaching staff to our left for St. Francis shaking their head with approval. That's 2 straight now for Lauren Ross.
And no argument from them, so not gonna hear an argument from us.
Ross keeps picking on that back row. Fort Camp, right side, Dory. Robrock keeps it up. 5-0 lead for the Foresters here in set 4. Holland with a good swing. Gumbel rises off the blockers. Meyer keeps it alive. Left side, Holland again, spins one in this time.
Yeah, got that one to the left of her. Not usually where she puts it in that position, but scans the defense, finds out where the players aren't, and puts it down.
6-0 run. Huntington looking for 7 straight for the second straight set, but that one flies too long that time, and it's 6-1 HU.
As the run ends right there, they're still up by 5, and I feel like that has sort of gone unnoticed here, as both teams have each gone on 5-0 runs. 5 points is a lot in the game of volleyball, as we're gonna get a whistle here and a timeout by St. Francis.
Yeah, Coach Haddix's team having some issues subbing at the moment, and he'll step in and have a discussion with his team. We'll just go ahead and keep it here. You know, Coach Haddix, he's been over there for 12 years now. Started his career as an assistant coach with Taylor University Fort Wayne, and then he was 10 years there as their head coach. He earned berths in 8 national championship tournaments, and TUFW at the time played in 3 consecutive national championship matches. So he was extremely successful there. Also spent 5 seasons coaching at Northrop High School. He was named the Summit Athletic Conference Volleyball Coach of the Year in 2009. But what's more impressive for Coach Haddix, not only as a coach, in addition to his coaching duties, he goes around and speaks to nearly 7,000 high school students each academic year, providing presentations regarding how to build and maintain healthy relationships, date rape prevention seminars, and how to date with purpose. So not only is he a tremendous coach, really good person, and a great role model for these young women that he's coaching as well.
Yeah, tremendous man, great volleyball player, great coach. Really just knows how to win on and off the court, you could say. Great guy to be running the show at St. Francis.
He played baseball for a while in college, played basketball at Taylor University, some soccer at Taylor as well. So he's got a lot of skills, as Lauren Ross does one of her famous dump kills in, and it's 7-1 HU.
She's 2 for 2 on that tonight. Does a great job picking and choosing when the right time is. Gets that one to go.
Olivia Cron, who's been on some long runs at the service line tonight, has the ball in her hands once more. Right at the net, and a big swing goes too long, that time from Dory. And Huntington back up 7. Seems like, and maybe I'm wrong, but the vibes feel as if St. Francis just doesn't feel like they're gonna get back in this match, and they just don't have that same energy they did earlier.
No, I agree. You could definitely feel just the energy coming off from their bench, their coaching staff, their players. It feels like they've sort of had the wind taken out of them in these past 2 sets.
Well, maybe a little energy here as they keep that one alive. Ross again dumps it over. She's just having fun out there.
Catching them off balance right when you're ready for the fastball. We're going to throw you the knuckleball. As you can see, the blockers just slowly have to watch that one fall onto the court.
9-1 lead. Cron again goes back row. Sweeney this time. Fort Camp. Right side swing from Parker. Huntington goes to Robrock, and she gets it into the blockers and off the net and down 10-1.
And no timeout from Haddix. They're just going to let his players play through this. Chasing 9 here with no more sets left to lose.
Chubb goes long on that one, and now Coach Haddix looking towards the end of his bench. He might want to get some of these younger players in. Kendall Fry, a junior, is going to check in. She's going to come in for the freshman Chubb, who's had a good night, but a couple of mistakes here the last few shots. She'll have a seat next to her experienced head coach. St. Francis trying to get back on the board, and they still will not do so as that's into the net. 12-1.
Just total dominance here for HU, and don't want to get too ahead of yourself if you're a Forester fan, but if they do end up wrapping this one up, this will go down as a pretty solid win and a great start to their Crossroads League season.
Right side, and back on the board is Kendall Fry, as that makes it 12-2 here in the fourth. Emily Hughes is coming in, and Swigert, the great freshman, back into the match once more.
So a lot of, I feel as though there's been a decent amount of good individual performances, but just as a team, they haven't been able to put it together as much, at least in the past 2 sets. I feel like in set 1 and set number 2, they were getting things going, but something hasn't clicked.
Fort Camp, flat-footed swing into the net, 13-2 Foresters. Of course, this was the start of the Crossroads League for all the teams here tonight. If we can, we'll pull up some of those scores, tell you about what's going on. You know, you look at some of the standings and you see that Indiana Wesleyan, who's back-to-back national championships, coming off an undefeated season 2 years ago, have lost twice. Well, the National Player of the Year for the last 2 years has been out so far, so that tells the story there. They're still going to be so powerful. Ross, back row Cron, who gets a rare swing, nearly dumps it in. Swigert, excuse me, into the net. It's 14-2 now.
Crossroads League, one of the best conferences in the nation in terms of volleyball, with Indiana Wesleyan, Marion, Goshen, Bethel, just so many talented teams. Huntington will be included in that. Just so many great teams that have the ability to go on national tournament runs all in one conference.
Tip shot by St. Francis. Meyer will have to set up Cruz, who goes off the blockers and outs. 15-2 now, Foresters in complete control. Taking a look at some of those scores around the league, Brady. Bethel won again, 3-1 against Mount Vernon, who's an excellent team. And that's who Huntington's seeing next is Bethel, so that'll be a good one. Taylor beat Goshen 3-0. They're off to a nice start as well. Spring Arbor, they're undefeated. They're up 2-1 against a nationally ranked Marion team. And Wesleyan looks like just swept Grace. So even without their best player, I don't know if Joel Smo was back tonight, but they're gonna be a national contender once more. Start of the year ranked #1 once again.
They are what you would call a dynasty when it comes to NAIA volleyball.
Ross set up Trevin Terry there, and she was blocked that time. Couldn't quite tell who was in there. I think it was Swigert and Fry once more. So 15-4 now, Huntington close to closing this one out. They'll get a little more help with the service error.
So we'll see if Coach Herber, maybe at this stage in the game, wants to get some younger players involved. So far, still running with the normal, if I can say that right, rotation. Let's see if you want to get some bench players in there, some freshmen.
Nice serve was in by Urban. You could hear the bench letting St. Francis players on the court know so. Fry had a good swing. Urban kept it alive, and that one, again by Cruz, is out of bounds off the block for her 12th kill of the night.
Cruz having a fantastic night and a fantastic career. She probably won't get it tonight, but Saturday is going to be the game to watch where she could find herself over the 1,000 milestone in terms of kills.
Urban into the net. If you're looking forward, Bethel coming in. They just won their first Crossroads League match. They're undefeated on the road. They're now 4-0, and they are now 9-5 on the season. So they've had a tough go at it at times this year. But Huntington, you don't want to really see this Forester team at home. They've been excellent here. Every time they get a chance to perform in front of their home crowd so far, they've been successful.
They have defended Platte Arena excellent so far this season, and they're going to get another point right there. But I think the biggest surprise of the week was HU did not receive any votes in the NAIA poll. The biggest knock on them would be the teams that they play. They've only played 3 teams with a record over 500, that being St. Mary of the Woods, Rio Grande, and Indiana Tech, who they all beat. So you can only beat the teams on your schedule. That's been the only knock on them, but they're definitely going to add to their case here tonight if they can finish this one off.
That receiving votes Indiana Tech win, though, was a clean sweep.
Oh, yeah.
That was dominant. And as mentioned, they're a few points away from being undefeated as Terry goes back row in for another kill.
Would be shocked if they didn't get at least some recognition in terms of some votes in next week's poll, as if they can close this one out and have a decent performance on Saturday at home versus Bethel.
Huntington's got Bethel coming up. Next Wednesday, it's Mount Vernon at Mount Vernon. And Saturday, the 13th, it's a Taylor team that's receiving votes now coming up in Upland, Indiana. Right side, Folk, who has been working as a setter, gets a rear swing off. Holland, close to the net, taps it over. And that's into the net. And right now, it's all Foresters. They're up 14-20-6 here in set number 4. It's been a dominant go, especially in these last 2 sets.
Yeah, I think the left hand of the main line judge might be getting a little tired. It feels like he's raising that every couple seconds, awarding a point to HU.
Pushed over. Huntington again with a free chance. Myers getting a nice run, and Avon Belding gets a kill. Her first career kill in the Crossroads League. She's got a few so far this year, but doesn't get a ton of playing time. She'll be a player to watch over the next few years. 5'11" freshman from North Vernon, Indiana.
As Belding gets involved in that last play, that's sort of what I was expecting from Coach Herbert, getting some younger players in there. She comes in right there, Belding does with the kill.
Fort Camp. She can go on one of these long runs serving the volleyball, maybe get her team back into it. It was a good serve there. Myers handled it well. Left side, Holland with a big rip, but it's kept off the floor by Sweeney. Left side going back to work. Gumbel can't get it to fall. Holland again into the hands this time. A freeze. Free chance for HU. Cruz calls it out. Urban goes backside to Belding. Nothing there quite yet. Meyer will set up the next shot for Holland, and it's just wide on the left side.
So a lot of good things for the Cougars right there during that volley. Would have loved to see some more of that early on in this set and early on in the previous set, but maybe running out of time here. But we'll see if Fort Camp can go on a run here, maybe put her team back in it.
Another good serve. Cruz had to work with it. Urban calls it out, sets up Maggie Holland, who hits a good one to the right back line, but it's kept up by the Cougs. Another free ball coming over from Gumbel. Urban, left side Holland, just tips it over right there, Fort Camp. And again, Gumbel sends another free one over. Urban looking to dump it in at the net. Forrester's block. Belding that time got in on the action. Meyer sets up Boyer. Can't find the floor quite yet. Gumbel, very far left side. Nothing happening for either of the teams as Holland goes off balance and hits it a little long.
The Cougars defense tightening up here in the late stages of set number 4. That's really what we saw from them early on. So you're walking out of this game, if HU's able to close it out, there's definitely some good takeaways. They had a strong showing in the first 2 sets and are starting to show signs of it here in set number 4. So can't walk out of Platte Arena hanging your heads too much if you're if you're a Cougar fan.
Fort Camp into the net. Huntington now just 3 points away from winning their 10th match of the year. This would be a 10-1 start. They've got a Bethel team coming in on Saturday. And of course, we talked about travel to Mount Vernon and then Taylor after that. It's a little bit of a tough stretch for this HU team. And we'll see what they're made of over these next few months. Ross. Fort Camp sets up Gumbel. And that one finds the line as it's blocked in by the Foresters. I think that was Avon Belding once more getting in on the action.
Making the most of her opportunity here. As you mentioned, a player who doesn't get too much playing time, and she knows that most likely as well, so she wants to get involved wherever she can.
Fort Camp, and a tip shot falls in there for Parker. Haven't called her name much tonight, but Kiera Parker does get a kill this time. It's now 23-10, Foresters. Kendall Fry in. It's the service coming from Katie Mills, freshman that we've seen a handful of times back there tonight. Katie finds the hands of Myers. Ross has to run it down. Robrock has to readjust and gets another one to go. And as it's been busy all night, Brady Gallo had another opportunity. This time it's an E1.
I was just going to say, I got to get a hand on that. We're going to get another look at it. Oh, not quite. Wasn't able to bring that one in. That one's on me. That's going to be a tough way to close the night, potentially.
Huntington a chance to close out the night right now. 24-10, set 4. Left side, big swing, blocked, almost put it away. That time, back row keeps it alive. Ross, far side Cruz, Sweeney keeps it up. Another swing for the Cougars. All three of them coming from Kendall Fry. Belding tips it over. Fry kept it alive. Fort Camp this time, right side Parker. Layla Meyer to Ross to Robrock, far side Fort Camp. Sweeney gets it to the right side in Parker once more. Huntington keeps it off the net. Layla Meyer just forces a free ball over. Fort Camp at the net. And finally, the point goes to Dory.
Wow, that would have been a great way to end the set for HU. A lot of the fans here on their feet, and they will remain on their feet as HU is going to get another crack at it to end this thing and send the fans home.
It's Kendall Fry, the junior, who will serve once more. 24-11. Huntington trying to come away with a dominant win, and that is icing on top of the cake. They are now 10-1, a 7-0 record here at Platt Arena. And when this game got tight, Brady, and St. Francis tied it up 1-1, Huntington came back and dominated set 3 and 4.
I think that's been their most valuable skill really as a team this season. Just not having the ability to blink, staying calm, controlling the pulse, as I like to say, just staying even, staying within themselves, not worrying about the score of the previous set, what the team's record is going in, just taking care of business, doing what they do well, and they get it done. They've been getting it done on a routine basis as they go out to a 10-1 start.
So we will wait for Coach Kelsey Herber here in just a few minutes. The two teams, as usual, will meet in the middle of the floor and have a prayer. And then we will have Coach Kelsey Herber joining us on our third headset tonight, so we both should be able to hear what Kelsey has to say following a dominant win this evening. For Huntington, Brady, again, it's just that balanced attack. We said it all night long. Cruz had 12, Mason Robrock and Maggie Allen had 8. Leah Carter with 5, Trevin Terry with 4. Ross added those 3, and all 3 of them with that dump shot we see from the setter position. Allie Boyer with 2, Urban with 1. Belding even came in and added another one on. That's what's made this team such a positive squad to watch and a dangerous team, to be completely honest, because they've come out and they've had so many players contribute like they did again tonight.
Coach Herbert making her way over here.
So we'll have Coach Herbert put on the third headset here this evening.
We're getting fancy with the third headset.
I know.
Yes, can you hear us?
Not through here,
okay. We'll talk loudly.
Yeah, you just talk loud, I'll be good.
Your team again tonight, we've looked at the box scores coming in. You guys have a ton of players contributing. I think it's 6 players with over 50 kills coming into tonight. That was kind of the mojo again tonight. Haley led the way, but you have all this supporting cast who just come out and battle each night and give yourself the best chance. Your attack just looks sharp again once more.
Yeah. And I apologize if I didn't catch all of that. Here's what I think about as I walk away from this match. We have to learn from it in terms of what was going on in the first 2 sets. Because you saw in sets 3 and 4 a completely different team, which I believe is my team. That's who I believe we are. And so we have to learn from that and say, you got to look at yourself as an individual and say, this is where Counselor Kelsey comes in. But where do you perform at your highest level? Do you need to be hype and energetic and a little goofy? Or do you need to be calm, relaxed? And we got to find that sweet spot. What I noticed for our team, and I don't mean to make it all about the intangible, there's fundamental pieces to this, but we came out with a whole nother energy level in sets 3 and 4. And so my hope is that we recognize that as a team and that we take that with us. Set 2, we handed them points on a silver platter with our own errors. And so we have to learn that if we take care of our side of the floor, we're a good team and we're going to be able to take it to other teams, but you've got to control your side.
Obviously, a lot of personal interest for Haley Cruz with you, being her older sister, but she has had a phenomenal career. She's closing in now on 1,000 kills. Yeah. She'll have a chance coming up against Bethel. What have you seen from her in this senior year that has made her excel now in these first 10, 11 matches?
I really appreciate her leadership, first and foremost. The way that she communicates on the floor is, yes, she's going to encourage you. She's also going to talk strategy. And I think that's really helpful to have on the floor. It has been a gift to do this as sisters. I know that's very unique, very rare to have this opportunity. So I'm trying to soak in every second that we have with her. But I think just her being in that 6 rotation role, you know, she's got a cannon of an arm and a little body. And so to have that on the floor all times, from the service line, the back row attack, and in the front row, it makes an impact for us that at any point in time we have somewhere that we can go for some additional firepower. So I think she's also worked really hard to work around a block a lot better. You know, being a little undersized, we're going to see some teams that put up a big block, and I think she's really learned how to be crafty and work around it, but also use it to her advantage.
Coach, final question going into another home match. You guys are 7-0 here at home. What do you need to do a little better? And what did you like from your team tonight heading into Bethel on Saturday?
I love the way that we can flip a switch. I think that's huge for us. We just have to recognize that that switch has already got to be flipped as you come in to every single match. So what we're going to do between now and then is we're going to, work out some fundamental kinks, just make sure that we get a lot of quality reps because confidence comes through repetition. But also we're going to address, okay, where do we need to be at our highest level when it comes to that energy standpoint? We're going to answer that question so that Saturday you don't see the ebbs and the flows. You just see a team that's ready to compete the whole way through.
All right, well, thank you, Coach, and congrats again on another victory.
Thank you.
All right, Brady, we'll have Coach Kelsey Erber pop off the headset. Any final thoughts from you before we go home for the evening?
I just love what you said. That gives HU fans all the confidence they need that this is a team that's not going to be satisfied with the way they played tonight. Even though they picked up a win, clearly frustrated with the way that they came out and ended up losing 1 set, but were totally dominant in the last 2 and got the job done. It was a fantastic time being here and great time having people in the gym, having people in Platt Arena. So if you're watching, tell your friends, tell your parents, get inside here. It is a lot of fun having this many people in the arena.
Foresters continue their historic start, now 10-1. They'll be back here in Platt Arena on Saturday. I will not be here. I don't know who might be on the call, if anyone will be on the call. Just make sure you tune into FDN Sports or come to Platt Arena yourself. Check out this team that is firing on all cylinders. It's Preston Husband, Brady Gallo. Awesome job by our FDN Sports crew here tonight. We will talk to you next time and have a great weekend.